All right, so for the 5 or 6 people who are watching this, maybe 1 or 2 of you, this is your first video you're watching from me. So what am I doing? What is this all about? I made a New Year's resolution that I want to make 400 short videos this year. These are more like my living journal, my video journal, and it's just documenting more so notes on things I'm picking up as I go along. Things I'm learning from coaches and mentors and seminars and business school, and trying to digest them in sort of like an easily accessible way. This project is to serve, well, many purposes, but one of which is just, like I said, a living journal for myself, just making notes on what I'm up to, what I'm picking up, so I can look back on them later on. And the second of which is I'm making them public because I hope that maybe 1 or 2 people out there will come across these videos and find value in 1 or 2 of the 400 videos I'm putting out this year. So I made an about video, goes a little bit deeper into what I'm talking about. I'll link it below this video. It's just number 001, I believe, in this series. As for my progress right now, I'm currently working 2 full-time jobs and going to business school, as well as tattooing on the weekends. I'm fortunate enough where I figured out enough where the first 2 jobs are location independent. I'm graduating from business school in 5 months. Hey Siri, how many weeks until May 11th, 2019? So in 15 weeks, actually 14 weeks or 13 weeks, not counting spring break and finals week, I'll finally have graduated. And because I found some success with the first 2 businesses, I don't have to be in one place to work. So I've been talking to Carrie about, well, what's the next step? What does after graduation look like? And as I mentioned, I'm on this mission, I'm on this path to financial independence. And this independence is freedom. Freedom from having to be tied in one place, freedom from having to work a 9 to 5, and freedom from stressing about money to take care of the things I need to take care of. So Carrie and I were talking recently about what does the equation for financial independence look like? It's assets and income minus your expenses and liabilities, and to me that equals financial independence. Okay, that's maximum zoom. We'll zoom it the old school way. Okay, that's not great, but it's video 10, we're still figuring it out, right? So assets and liabilities are your 2 main categories to equal financial independence. You can think of assets as things that put money into your wallet or into your account, and liabilities as things that take money out of your wallet or out of your account. That's how I think about it. I think about your assets being anything liquid, anything investable. So your car, not an asset. The house you live in, not an asset. Things that are illiquid or not easily converted into cash are not assets. Things that can be liquid within 30 days or so and turned into investments and start generating revenue, that's an asset. So I put them together because your assets ultimately create more income. And then you have expenses. Pretty self-explanatory. Liabilities typically incur expenses. So a car payment, a mortgage, things like that. This is just your lifestyle costs. So we can even do, so you have your income minus your expenses, your lifestyle cost, equals your financial independence. Any amount of money you have left over here, you put it back into your cash machine as assets to ultimately start generating more income. So the whole name of the game is increase your assets while decreasing your expenses until you reach financial independence. So in some of the groups I'm in, we talk about not living like a homeless person and decreasing all of your expenses, living on the street, because you're saving up that money, you're building up your assets. We're not saying to do that, but we are saying to watch your expenses and when you can, cut your expenses, as long as you're not doing it from a scarcity mindset, right? So we're not saying live on the street, save all of your money, don't rent a place, don't have a car, don't do things like that. Don't come from a place of saving all your money to the point of living in scarcity and you're holding on to every dollar and you're scared to spend any money. But do watch your expenses, at the same time increase your assets. So because I'm starting to find some traction online, I'm somewhat I'm entirely location independent. So the question then becomes, are we staying in Hawaii, which is arguably the most expensive place in America to live? Why are we still staying here? If I've graduated, she's not in love with the job that she's currently doing. Is there a way that we can decrease our expenses overall while increasing our assets and our income? And this leads to geo arbitrage, moving overseas, moving to a cheaper place. So we're looking at places in the mainland that are more affordable. We're looking at going to places overseas in Asia that are way more affordable. And you can ultimately have access to more experiences, access to more resources for less money. Assuming you're making dollars in the US and taking it to a place like Thailand, Indonesia, anywhere in Southeast Asia, then you can have a greater life for much less money. This is where the question becomes, do we have a greater chance of increasing our assets, increasing our income, staying in Hawaii, at least until we hit a certain figure of financial independence? And if it's not Hawaii, are there other places where maybe it's not the cheapest, we're not decreasing our expenses, but can we move somewhere where we're decreasing our expenses while getting around like-minded people, being around more entrepreneurs, which will ultimately lead to us increasing our assets and income? Since I can only use the top third of the board, let me erase this. So I'm curious what your thoughts are. Leave a comment below and let me know. If you had to pick just one to focus on, would you focus solely on increasing your assets, increasing your income sources, or would you be happy with the amount of hours you're working now, be happy with the amount of income you have now, and instead move to a place where your expenses are much, much lower, and you can have a much higher quality of life with the same amount of money that you're currently making? I know ideally you'd be doing both at the same time. You're increasing your assets and decreasing your expenses, but if you had to pick just one, what would you choose and why? Keeping in mind, we're not even talking about intangibles, things like what are the benefits we get from living in Hawaii? We can take a scooter ride 5 minutes and be on 10 different beaches, but we're always working to afford to live here and have that luxury. So there's pros and cons to each side. But again, if you had to focus just on one, increasing your assets or decreasing your liabilities, which would you choose? And where would you move? Would you move to simply decrease your expenses? Or would you move to maybe a more expensive place to be closer to entrepreneurs and people who you think would be able to put you in a better position and then ultimately increase your income so it offsets the additional expenses? I'm curious your thoughts. So this is kind of my video journal monologue type thing, but the whole idea behind it is to spread ideas and encourage conversation. So leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. Maybe it'll help me think about these things a little differently and a little more clear. So thanks for watching this far. If you're into this stuff, let me know. If not, send me your hate mail. That's cool too. I'm doing one of these every day, so shoot me some topic ideas. What do you guys want to learn about? I'm going over pretty much business stuff, financial independence, travel. I mean, I have a year to make 400 videos, so there's going to be a lot of content coming up. Either way, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.